I've heard their name before, Magic. When you people conspired to block me when I wanted to come to fight Peter Obi as governor. Overnight, I was delegated to go and fight him. They now conspired and say Ajaero should not come. You know, he was among them. You know. Yes, I was in Owerri, ready to move into Anambra. You know, they were having issue with Peter Obi. And they say, oh, it's Ajaero that will go and give him hit. Magic and others came to Owerri that night and met with Oma and others. And they now say, no, Ajaero, go to another place. So since that time, that's how I started knowing who Magic is. So I was the first victim. Magic gave. So when I saw him with this man said, this person will take over from him. I remember that very matter. But there was nothing I could do. So I hope you will not play that magic here again. But since he said this person will take over from him, and he stood by it, and handed over to him, I believe that is the confidence he has in you. And you shouldn't betray that confidence. You know, take care of your union. From the introduction here, it's like your secretariat is not robust. Build a robust secretariat. You know, that because you have a large membership, from what I'm seeing now. But what I'm seeing in real terms is not reflecting the members you have. And that is the first area we're going to go into. If you call for assistance, fine. Radio, theater, the number of private radio stations and TV stations in this country is unimaginable. In the 36 states and Abuja. Let's unionize them, comrades. Every organization, every union ceases to exist the very moment they stop unionizing. It can't be dependent on FRCN and the NTA. More stations are out there. And you talk about even arts workers in all the states. So why are you not playing among the first 3 or 4 in NLC? That's the question. Why? Because your resources are there and you are not picking it. You talk about condition of service for media workers. This one, you need to work with NUJ and others. I was in the NUJ program last week, and I told them, in Geneva you are talking about, I said, okay, journalists from Nigeria that came here, I don't know how many of you that were there. It's like I saw 1 or 2 faces here. And I said, please, let us talk about non-payment of salary in media house. They said, no, 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 no. They talk about others. They don't talk about their matter. I say, how many of the media houses have implemented minimum wage? Can we talk about it? They say, no, 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 no. I say, you don't want to talk about yourself? So these are issues. And I'm saying this because my background was from the media. And I told them, as early as 1992, 91, I become a branch chairman and secretary of Vanguard newspapers. And you can go there and find out. Among the people that are locked gate. And by 96 already at a battle convention, I was already a national officer of the NUJ. So I know the challenges of media. Whether RATTAWU, whether NUJ, but it's only you, in collaboration with us here, that can solve the problem. Once we went to close Guardian when they sacked workers, there were about 5 of us with Adam Soshomole that were closing the gate. As we were closing the gate, they were still writing stories. We entered the newsroom and started pushing people out. They didn't agree. We went and off the generator, begging people to leave for their own interest. That system is not too good, So I want to urge you, if you have a template for us to improve the welfare of workers, in your sector, the NLC will work with you. That is the assurance we are going to give to you, and we are going to make it practical. We don't believe in talk. So from today, I wish you the best, and pray that your union will not witness what you witnessed a few months back again. Because the president, you have a good heart, you took it calmly to the end. I didn't see any moment you were panicking about it. That's one thing I noticed. And that was why I sent you that message that you're a man of honor, that you will go places, you do more in the larger society. You didn't read all of them, but it was a private chat, and you now started reading it. Okay. It was confidential now.
You gave us
you now gave them a lead, but nevertheless, it was based on my, it is difficult for you to see courageous people who are not intimidated by harassment. And for the role of the security agencies, that is unheard of. The way the security agencies are moving into, activities is unheard of and is condemnable. You can't see the presence except you invite them to bring protection at the venue, for them to enter into your hall and be interpreting your constitution. And on a day that you have your conference, they are inviting you all over. What is the reason for that? If election result is not correct, people go to NIC and IAP or whatever to seek for its nullification. But before now, in fact, even a week before your election, the Minister of Labour equally sent for me. You say we should leave this in. We went there, and we discussed this all over. They even told us that, we should not allow anybody to be disqualified. I said we are going to ensure that it's going to be a level playing ground for everybody to contest. But not for you to base on what they are saying and say set up a category. This is an independent organization. The ILO is clear about it, that avoids government interference in what they are doing. So what is the police and the DSA? And for us members that write them to bring them in, what is our intention? What is our intention? Because now they write them now. It's only when we write them that, look, come and stop this conference. But why will you write them? If you know you are not going to win an election, you allow others to go. Or you increase your campaign. So the issue of state interference in labor activities is getting out of hand. We raised this before and we are raising it again. The same way the state, Nigerian state, is interfering on NSITF funds, on PENCOM funds. That interference, even the ILO is looking at it. Trade union organizations are independent organizations. They have their ways, they have their own rules that operate. But if there is an infraction, any of the parties can seek redress, which is what we expect, but not to disrupt, what we are doing. I don't think that is in order. And I thank you, and I equally thank probably the CP of that state who decided to play based on the provisions of your constitution, and abided by the letters and spirit of your constitution. So on that note, we are ready to work with you, in good faith, and we, by the grace of God, like you said, that you are number one. Your number one will reflect in everything. It's not number one. It's not number one for mouth now. Yes. So if you play a role of number one, and then we'll give you the position of number one, as the case may be. So on that note, I say thank you very much. Congratulations, because and the NLC will give you a role now. Yeah, a role to manage everything media about NLC. If we cough here, we want it to be magnified, whatever. So that is the only way we know that we have an affiliate, that is having a strong background there. If you equally want us to have a synergy between you and the NUJ, so that we will not be paying for media. I'm not saying we are paying for reporting, but for media. So there will be no advertorial from us. Everything you find out how you are going to do it for us. So, and about your own radio and TV station, we'll be willing to witness the launch anytime from now. That will help us in information dissemination as a trade union movement. So once more, thank you and congratulations. Welcome. the struggle for our men, but there is victory.
Solidarity
Forever.
Thank you so much. Another round of applause for the president. At this time, we bring the Deputy General